Are you just getting started with kettlebells? I got something for you. Check the first link in the description. It is a free workout course that is filled with 30 days of kettlebell workouts. Click the link, sign up, and enjoy. Grüezi miteinander, Gregory von Lebe Stark here. I know that these 20 rare kettlebell exercises are the ones that you're not doing because they are unconventional. But just because they are unconventional doesn't mean that they can't give you a lot of return on your investment. Exercise number 1 is the Windmill, and I consider it a great mobility and flexibility exercise, and it also increases your kinesthetic sense. The idea is to incorporate and combine a side hinge with a T-spine rotation. This also works your abdominal muscles, especially your obliques. Exercise number 2 is the bench press. This is an old school kettlebell exercise. The idea of the bench press is to use your body as leverage to hoist weight overhead. And it is not a rare sight to see very strong individuals lift very heavy weights overhead with the aid of the bench press. It's also a very complicated exercise, so tread carefully. Exercise number 3 is the Pendulum Swing, also called the Kettlebell Sport Swing. Now, while the Russian pendulum or the double bent knees or the pendulum leg action is used in the long cycle or in the snatch, for example, using the pendulum just to swing kettlebells is something that is rarely seen. However, you can use it to either have fun with it and do the swing like this, or like Valery Fedorenko shared with me, take the pressure off your lower back or increase your grip strength with a very heavy kettlebell. Exercise number 4 is the Staggered Push Up. Now, I believe that the push-up in general is one of the best bodyweight exercises that you can do. And in my workout regimen, it is a constant staple that is always returning. Now, with the Staggered Push-Up, you elevate your left or your right arm respectively to a position where the muscle gets a bigger stretch, and therefore a bigger range of motion means that more muscle gets involved. But if you want to be careful, because if you already walk around with a hunched over position, the staggered push-up might do a little bit more damage than good. So make sure you increase your upper body mobility first. Exercise number 5 is the atomic push-up. Now, I got this idea from the TRX folks. You place both your feet on the kettlebell, and now we elevate the full body. This means your chest has to do more work, which means more gains. As simple as that. Exercise number 6 is the high pull. With the high pull, you want to be unified and melt with the kettlebell, because if you're not used to swinging the kettlebell, there will always be a jerky feeling approximately on shoulder level. Now, the high pull can also be a great prepping exercise or a great primer for the snatch. However, using it as a standalone exercise can also yield great results. Exercise number 7 is the back squat, or how I sometimes dub it, the lumberjack squat. You simulate a barbell. Therefore, you can engage in the movement pattern of a back squat that works more muscle than a typical goblet squat, which characteristically speaking is a front squat. You can also do jump squats once you have the kettlebell on your traps, but don't jump too high in the air because you don't want to damage your joints. Exercise number 8 is the half snatch. The half snatch is also a great primer for the full snatch. The difference between a full and a half snatch is that with the half snatch, you bring the kettlebell back into the rack position after you brought it up in the top fixation. And when the kettlebell's in the rack position, it gives you a little bit more time to breathe and relax. Exercise number 9 is the double half snatch. Now, of course, we can do a half snatch with both kettlebells. This is a tricky and very complicated maneuver, so be very careful with this exercise. The strength, the power, and the kinesthetic sense that this exercise requires is immense, but the payoff is huge. This is a full body monster that works your brain, your body, your abdominals, your glutes, your quads, your hammies, your arms, your chest, your shoulder, everything. Exercise number 10 is the farmer's life, which is an iteration of the farmer's walk. And the idea is a farmer doesn't have to just carry stuff in the suitcase position, but also maybe on the hip or maybe overhead. And there's some powerful gains that we can rake in if we start walking around with the kettlebell in the rack or in the top fixation. Exercise number 11 is the overhead squat, which requires a lot of flexibility and mobility and is an advanced exercise. The idea is to keep your arms fully extended and then go down into the squat and come back up. And an overhead squat generally determines how well your upper body communicates with your lower body. Now, of course, and here we come up with exercise number 12, we can do a double overhead squat. Double the trouble and way more intense. And this top fixation has to be strict. You have to have it down pat what it means to keep that arm extended, because there is a very interesting and special feeling that occurs when you have your arm extended overhead and then you go down into a squat and you come back up. Let me tell you, gravity feels a little bit different when you do an overhead squat. Exercise number 13 are bottom up variants. Now in this case, I'm doing a clean and press or a Turkish get up where the kettlebell is in that bottom up position. A bottom up position means that you have to have enough forearm strength, enough grip strength to keep the kettlebell balanced. And in turn, this also requires a huge and highly developed kinesthetic sense. And just to explain what a kinesthetic sense actually means is body control, or you are fine-tuned with your body. You listen to your body, you feel how your body moves, and you know exactly what the exercise does to your body. If this is highly developed, you're able to control the kettlebell in a manner that is almost like a superpower. Exercise number 14, here come the juggling. Now, with juggling, I think this is just pure fun. Yes, you maybe increase your reaction time and you're maybe not as scared of the kettlebell once you start flipping it, which in turn might increase your confidence when you jump into the regular exercises like a swing, a clean and press, or a jerk, for example. With exercise number 15, I always get Arnold Schwarzenegger vibes because this is called the helicopter, where you flip the kettlebell on its axis sideways. And then I always think about Arnie, how he screams, "Get to the chopper!" Exercise number 16, the side flip, is a variation of the helicopters. So instead of flipping the kettlebell with a transverse hand on its transverse axis, you flip the kettlebell with a front hand so that the thumb is pointing upwards. Exercise number 17, the lateral flip. This is something that is often seen if you want to engage into the traditional way of kettlebell juggling. Exercise number 18 is a flip between the legs, and I just recently realized that it's way easier if you don't hold on to the kettlebell for dear life. And in turn, this way of training with the kettlebell and this type of juggle maneuver can, like I mentioned before, increase your confidence in training with kettlebells, but also increase the way you grab a kettlebell. You have more trust, your grip is a little bit more loose, and this in turn may help you when it comes to the swing, the snatch, or the clean. Exercise number 19 is the assisted curl. And if you don't have a dumbbell at home and you really want to do curls with kettlebells, I believe this is the best way to do it. And the final exercise is the lateral clean. And I always think about my main man, Bill Esch, the kettlebell warrior, because he's totally into these lateral exercises. Now, while I do believe that there is some additional benefit because we work in a different plane of motion, I also see that from experience, a lot of people have trouble understanding a proper hinge maneuver. And understanding how to hinge and then working the kettlebell laterally, this can be an increased or a more difficult task for people who are not that in tune with their bodies. So these are the 20 exercises. I hope you liked the video. If you do like it, consider subscribing, and I'll catch you on the next one.
If you're looking for kettlebell courses that can help you lose weight, build muscle, and improve your kettlebell technique, then check out the Lebe Academy. Let us help you discover a new perspective on kettlebell training, making it simple and easy for you to understand. Join the waiting list of your desired course now and secure your spot when it's open for enrollment. Link is in the description.